What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Under the Arch Sports. I'm Eric Hobbs, and let's talk some Battlehawks football. Lots of playoff scenarios to go over, and a huge matchup with Seattle that we really got to dig into here. First, I need you guys to subscribe to our YouTube channel and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Alright, so first things first, let's set things up with a quick look at the XFL standings. In the North, DC is in first place at 6-1. One game back. You see the St. Louis Battlehawks at 6-2. One more game back. Seattle Sea Dragons at 5-3. Vegas is at fourth place at 2-6. They are eliminated. That's really what we're looking at, is these three teams. And the first scenario is pretty simple. If DC wins again, they will host the XFL semifinal, the North Division Championship. They've already clinched a spot in that game, but if they beat either Arlington or San Antonio, they will host it. Arlington's 4-4, San Antonio's 2-6. So the upshot is, expect DC to host, because that's probably where we're at. Now for St. Louis, if they beat Seattle this weekend, they clinch a playoff spot. They would have the opportunity to finish at 8-2, ahead of Seattle outright, or if they were to lose the finale against Orlando and Vegas were to lose to Seattle in that finale, they both end up 7-3, but St. Louis has two head-to-head wins. That's your first tiebreaker. Now, you also have the scenario where St. Louis loses out and Seattle wins out. In that case, Seattle is a game ahead of St. Louis and they advance. Now, the real interesting one, if Seattle wins out, including the win this weekend at St. Louis, but St. Louis, after losing to Seattle, beats Orlando, then you are going way down the list of tiebreakers. The first tiebreaker is head-to-head, as I mentioned. Well, they'd be 1-1 against each other. Then you're looking at best win-loss percentage in division games. Well, in that case, they both have 2 losses to DC in division, and they each have a loss to each other. So it'd be the same. You go to the third one. Best win-loss percentage in common games. Again, the schedules are the same. They'd have 2 losses to DC and a loss against each other, both finishing 7-3. So, yeah, the third one isn't enough. You go to the fourth. Strength of victory in all games. Combined record of opponents and wins. Well, again, your wins are going to be the same. Everybody except DC and a split against each other when you're already tied. So the fourth one does you no good. The fifth tiebreaker, strength of schedule in all games, combined record of all opponents. Same thing. So that does you no good. You go to the sixth tiebreaker. Best combined ranking among division teams in points scored and points allowed in all games. So, it's your score differential. The Battlehawks are really helped by their win at Vegas, where they blew them out 29-6. That really helps them. St. Louis holds that edge right now, and realistically, unless Seattle comes in and blows the doors off the Battlehawks, that's honestly the most realistic way for Seattle to overtake the Battlehawks in that scenario. So, if St. Louis can win against Orlando, they'd probably be fine against against Seattle, going down to the sixth tiebreaker. So that's what happens. I mean, think about it. Both teams undefeated against the South. Both teams unbeaten against Vegas, presumably. Split against each other. And 2 losses against DC. It's the exact same everything. And that's why you're going down to this 6th tiebreaker. But St. Louis could just make things easy on everybody and win this weekend, and then it's over. Now, what will it take for the Battlehawks to get that win? 1, you hope A.J. McCarron's shoulder is good to go. I think keeping A.J. McCarron out of last week's game was a little bit of the same situation that Mizzou fans would remember with Kobe Brown. Kobe Brown sprained an ankle against Arkansas at the end of the game. They kept him out of the game against Alabama because they wanted him ready for the rest of the season. They figured even with Kobe Brown out there, there's no guarantee we win this game. It's probably unlikely anyway. So let's rest him, make sure he's good to go for the following 10 games. And it worked out, as we saw for Missouri, top 4 seed in a first tournament win. With McCarron, it may have been, even if we lose this game, we still, with a win, hold the tiebreaker. So I think that was make sure McCarron is good to go for this Seattle game. And it worked out where Nick Tiano was able to get the thrilling overtime win. So best of both worlds, where McCarron got his rest and the Battlehawks still got the win. So I think it'll be McCarron out there just fine. Just keep that shoulder healthy. Offensive line, keep him upright. Beyond that, the defense needs to be on the ball in terms of turnovers. They've been very opportunistic. That needs to continue. Seattle quarterback Ben DiNucci leads the league with 2,072 passing yards. He's got a little more than 500 yards more than A.J. McCarron, who has the next most in the league. He's also got 15 touchdown passes, second most after A.J. McCarron. Now, what he also has is he's got 10 interceptions, the most in the league. So that's where I'm talking about the Battlehawks being opportunistic. He's a gunslinger. And there's a risk-reward thing for Seattle with that. St. Louis needs to make them pay every time DiNucci throws an ill-advised pass. That is going to be huge. And then you look at who he's throwing to. Seattle has probably the most dynamic receiving core in the XFL. Going ahead and pulling that up. You've got 3 receivers who are among the league leaders in terms of receptions. Jahcour Pearson, 50 catches on the year, most in the XFL. Blake Jackson, 38 of his own. That's 4th in the XFL. And then down there with 27 catches of his own, former NFL standout Josh Gordon. When you take a look at receiving yards, Jahcour Pearson, he's got the second most. And then Blake Jackson and Josh Gordon are 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th in the XFL. So 3 of the top 8 receivers in the XFL in terms of yards, all on the same team. That's what St. Louis has to slow down. So it'll be up to the defensive line to create some pressure, make DiNucci scramble, make him throw on the run. He has the ability to do that, but on the run, he is more susceptible to throwing the ill-advised pass. And that's where the Battlehawks are really going to be able to take advantage. And then with the offense, keep the quarterback, keep him upright as best you can, and let Brian Hill do his thing. Brian Hill, despite missing time, he is second in the XFL in rushing yards. Let him do his thing. Keep that vaunted Seattle offense off the field. And then, I think it'll be McCarron out there. Let's see what happens. I think the big game like this, St. Louis benefits from having an NFL experienced quarterback. He's got that playoff experience. As I've talked about, that's a huge benefit in these high leverage games and moments. So I think that's going to be important for the Battlehawks. If St. Louis can get this win, they are in the playoffs, and then they're playing Orlando in the finale. That's one where I think you get your guys enough work so that they're not rusty. And then, get some guys some experience. I mean, this is all about getting guys an opportunity to get to the NFL. I think there's that underlying theme. Everybody wants a shot at the biggest league. So I wouldn't be surprised if St. Louis were to beat Seattle that would happen. But Battlehawks got to get that win at the Battle Dome first. That's all I've got for this video, guys. We'll see what happens. Huge game. Battle Dome's going to be rocking. I'll be honestly a little disappointed if there's not 40,000 people there, as important as this game is. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Keep it tuned here to Under the Arch Sports for everything with the Cardinals, little Blues analysis now that the season's over. And hey, Mizzou football not so far away. Thanks for checking out this video. See you guys next time.